Talk time with Sharmin. Keep it locked. Let's go.
Beautiful sunrise and an evening kiss of a nice sunset on the evening breeze. But she tell me say she tired of the exploits and the liars. She beat them reggae, keep them beaches, keep them flowers and the ferns. All she got is a view.
I know we get off to a little bit late start today, but we're working on it.
Hey, and she said to your head, mama. I said no worry yourself.
Right here on Vibes Out Radio. Let's go. I'm here for you, Jamaica. What must I try? Oh, I love
Time with Sharmin.
I wanna you the wisest enough. You can look but don't touch my relations and such. 'Cause out here in this jungle, everything has a soul. And if you enter my soul, I'm out to protect my own. Protect my own. I will protect my own. Protect my own.
Great boss keep from birth to the casket of birth. They been talking some words and look past it. I was brought up and taught up the topics and learned that the lion don't turn when dog walking. Through you earn who you spark with, and you have to go earn if you want it. So we no concern with who talking. When them spit can reach when we walking. Enemies in disguise wanna see my eyes. Them no even realize try no problem. Cause I see that in life you achieve something nice, but achieve something twice is a problem. Then again and then the world's a place. To walk in the hand and then I know where you say. Cause I have another in the brain, and every other one I don't need.
who knows, I just go in the street.
And it's about to change. Chronics are where you say, hey.
I just go where the treatment goes. Sending love to my friends and friends. And just say, whoa, come please, to be clean in the West Indies. The provider of my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees.
When me see John, me see a way. Drastically straight from hypocrisy and say, hey. Everyone to them on a philosophy. I live the proper way and then me read a chapter daily. One day in a city hungry and no eat. And put they down a country just a drop off of the street there. You see say poverty not real then. Is what the reason revealing.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. We're off to a late start. I actually came late for my show the very first time. I am late. And my apologies. I was having a moment before I got here. So I want to apologize for being late, my tardiness. I'm so sorry, but tonight I welcome all of you. This is Talk Time with Sharmin, and I'm your host, Sharmin Prince. And I want to wish everyone that has celebrated a birthday last week or is celebrating a birthday this week, a happy birthday to you. If you're celebrating an anniversary, happy anniversary, congratulations on any achievement that you have attained over the past week. If you lost a loved one or a friend or relative, I want to say, offer you my condolences, and you know, grieving is a process. I want to welcome all my committed supporters. Thank you for your continued support. I want to thank any new listener. If you're new to Talk Time with Sharmin, welcome, welcome. All my viewers, all my listeners via the internet, thank you, thank you, thank you for tuning in today. And forgive me once again for my tardiness. Today we have a good show for you. And you know, guys, I like to tell you the truth. When I was reading the research for this show, I said, Sharmin, you know, you're really not equipped to do this show. So I'm going to do part of the show today, but next week I would have a physician assistant, Kim James, in the studio with me to talk about this, because all I'm doing is talking about statistics, and I can't really tell you about the medical jargons they're using in some of the studies, but the studies, or the results of the studies, pretty alarming, and we'll get into that. So we'll get into what the literature is saying about the Alzheimer's and dementia, and the different levels. I mean, I've learned so much just preparing for the show. So next week we'll continue, and I think I'll have a call-in guest also next week, but I don't know. I don't want two guests on the same show because I don't get a chance to talk, and you guys know I like talk, right? So yes, once again, welcome. I hope you participate, because this is about participation. The number here is 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510. Share the link, share the link, share the link on your page. And once again, welcome. And you know, guys, put some hearts and some love for my DJ Chester. Thank you so much for being my DJ, and he was here before me today. I'm sure, did you text me?
It was my fault. I didn't text, but we both got close today.
Okay, yeah. But we're here, and that's what is important. And as usual, we're in for a great show tonight. And I ran out the office and left my my community update, but I think I'll remember some of it off the top of my head. But anyhow, thank you again. But before we get into the topic, I have to, tell you about my weekend and what I did and what I found out and what I saw and what I experienced. So that might take up some of the time, and anything I say, you can always call 718-342-0510, 718-342-0510. Welcome. Good night to Ricky. Ricky, good night. Good night, good night. I hope you enjoyed your weekend and you had a great day.
Together, face the wet and dusty weather. My iris has got to be so hard.
Talk time with Sharmin.
But sometimes it's rough, real rough. Another time it's tough, real tough. But I am glad to sit down with the puff. I've got to do something that was always been given to those who help themselves. In planning to be no stop up on your shelf. The faithful as I want to be a
So many sons lost in the slaughter. Blood running in the streets like water. A gun in hand knows no friend. No. Warmongers selling death in my land. Get to recharge the souls of we children. Can you tell me when will it end? How many more die? Must carry this load. Oh, how many more die? Before we track down Zion Road. How many more? Sing wayo, 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 Heavenly Father, children like me, send a happy hand for the country, and now there's no Selassie said, "Everything yourself, no living yourself. No good way out of put you on yourself. And now you are yourself, not the pain yourself. Asking how did you get that stand? It was you and your ignorance, and the police and the soldier and the vigilance. You were the most deliverance, but it was ignorance, fighting ignorance, yes. Yeah, it's intelligence, negligence. Think you got no make sense. No, yeah, it's intelligence, negligence. So I'm over you know the reverence. Boy, yeah, it's intelligence, negligence. No business about the knowledge of yourself. Yeah, it's intelligence, negligence. Negativity, we don't overfence. When you want subjects, you pass them all. But if you shop in reputation, no pass them all. And you know what the time, you pass the wall. Tell me why you lost it all. Wondering what's going through your brain. Some people say you're insane. Whenever you cry, you cry. People get hurt on the line. Yeah, makes intelligence. Think you want that no make sense. Yeah, makes intelligence. Negligence. No, I won't buy you no reverence. Yeah, makes intelligence. Negligence. No business out in all the one you sense. Yeah, makes intelligence. Negligence. Negativity, we not go over fence. Yeah. The children, them no fool again. They tell you I'm gonna stand kiss and then you know spread the message to the woman them. Or else you can't maneuver them. Yeah. Give thanks for this royal soldiers. I'm talking about the style soldiers. They got the span of holders. They like the nugget within the phone all night. Yeah, it's intelligence, negligence. Think you want that no person. Yeah, it's intelligence, negligence. Better you all around right. Yeah, it's intelligence, negligence. No, 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 no. Yeah, it's intelligence, negligence. Better you, better you, better you. Dedicate yourself, no dedicate yourself. Nothing for you to put your on shelf, yeah. And now you are yourself, not a innocent. Asking how did you get expelled? But it was you and your ignorance. All the police and the soldiers and the vigilance. You are the good deliverance, but them still want person like us. Yeah, makes intelligence, negligence. Think you want that no make sense. No, yeah, makes intelligence, negligence. Better you all around. Yeah, makes intelligence, negligence. Better you move over the fence.
I'm sure you're feeling the same way I'm feeling with this music that our DJ is playing. And thank you for that, those selections. Wow. So guys, I hope you had a great weekend and a wonderful day. I had an interesting weekend. Shout out to, I'm sure you guys saw that you see that I have a new hairstyle, right? After, oh my God. Guys, I don't know how long I have not been to a hair salon, right? Because remember, I had dreads. I guess I went to a hair salon a couple of times when I had dreads. And then I went bald, so I used to go to the barber. But I went to a hair salon. Shout out to Lady D Jackson, from Natural Looks at 3413 Church Avenue. I had to go and get my hair done in preparation for yesterday. I'll tell you guys about that. But one of the things that I learned while I was in the beauty salon, and I don't know how many of you can identify with this. Sometimes we self-insulate and we are only exposed to certain things, or the things we choose to expose ourselves to. So I'm sitting in the salon and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so far. I'm like kind of out of touch with certain things in the world. And I know you might be surprised that I'm saying that. And I'm happy that I went, and I will be visiting the salon a little more often because I want to do some work in the beauty salons and the barber shop, because while I'm sitting there and I observe that some people, some customers use the barbers and the hairdressers as their social workers or their therapists. So here is a barber sitting there, and one of his customers come and he's venting on him. And the barber or the hairdresser's in that place listening to that. Okay, he might be venting about his wife. Up comes this, or she might be venting about her husband. Then comes the second customer and start venting about something different. That barber or hairdresser has to switch gears. They were not trained as therapists and clinicians. And I am sitting there and I'm saying, what avenues do they have to decompress? What avenues does the barbers and the hairdressers have to get rid of all the stuff they're accumulating all day while they're standing on their feet, and then to go home and spend time with their loved ones by the time the end of the day? Do they have the capacity to tend to their loved ones after being the social worker that they're not trained for all day in the beauty salon or the barber shop? Think about that for a minute, guys. And if you want to contribute, I hope Tessa is listening. I never thought about it until on Saturday, because everyone that sat in Lady D chair, I'm sure, shares something different. How do they switch gears from one customer? This person just vented on this. How do they switch gears? What do they do for self-care? How do they disengage from all their customers' problems? Have you guys ever thought about that? Have you ever thought that the barber and the hairdresser has become the therapist for a lot of members of our society? Have you ever thought about that? You ever thought that 8 or 9 or 10 hours the barber or the hairdresser is standing on their feet, And out of that 8 hours, they might be spending 5 listening to the problems of their customers. And they're not trained to do that. How do they detach from all that stuff? Are they susceptible to vicarious trauma? Because a man was there and he's just venting to the barber, and the barber's on his phone like, okay, I think I have enough. But all that man wanted to do is get it off his chest. And maybe the barber was spent and he's like, okay, I had enough for the day. It's about the end of my day. How do they detach from all of that to go home and spend quality time with their families? Is it possible? Do our barbers and hairdressers suffer from burnout? Think about that for a moment. And if I have clinicians listening, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever wondered how they survive? What do they do for self-care after sitting day in, day out, listening to the plights, the problems of their customers? Remember, that's not our topic. That was just my observation while sitting and having Lady D do my hair. And I know I give her a hard time because I like it simple. Our topic today is African Americans and dementia, or Alzheimer and dementia. But I just wanted to share my weekend and my learning experience. And I sat there and I was like, I am so self-insulated from things that really happen out there. And I'm sitting in the barber shop and I'm asking myself, what can I do to help the barbers to on the road to self-care? And what can I do to help them to detach from all the stuff that they hear? And it's not always about money. It's just about if they would accept my offer, and even if it's just for 25 minutes a month or so, just to go there, sit down and have them vent. Because I don't think they understand what they are doing and what they're carrying. Lovely Samantha said during cosmetology school they do a short teaching on that, but nothing major. I don't think that cosmetology school can prepare them for what is happening in real life, because a man may not want to go to a therapist because of culture and whatever, but they will go and sit in the barber chair and just vent to the barber and tell the barber or the hairdresser all the stuff that is going on. It is important for the barber and the hairdresser to be trained on how to redirect their customers and help them to see the need to seek other help other than the chair, the barber chair or the hairdresser chair. And it's as simple as that. Listen and then wait for an opening and then say, you know, I have these numbers for these people that you can speak to, and start making referrals and let them know that, you know, they're not equipped to deal with the depths of those problems. So that was just my take on my Saturday. I had two distinguished and impacting Saturdays. I hope Saturday, August 5th would be different. I hope so. Really hope so. The number here is 718-342-0510. If you are here, Tessa, if you're listening, can you call in? Am I accurate? Do you guys have enough information to deal with all the stuff and the information that is thrown on you on a daily basis? How do you decompress? How do you color your life?
Empress, good evening to you.
Good evening, Brother Earl. Why are you laughing so early?
Let me steal a call before Lady Tessa calls. Good evening, Rachel. Queen Tessa, hold your phone, please. Hold your phone. Let me steal a call quickly because I want to go eat my dinner. And I cannot believe, good evening to my lovely ladies out there in Rachel. I cannot believe you got my Queen Sharmin going on alone. And I've just been her with this Saturday experience. Thank you for sharing. But Queen Sharmin.
Yes, Brother Earl.
As you stated, you haven't been to the hair parlor in many years. You didn't say the number of years.
Over 10 years.
That's okay, a decade ago. That's some time ago. But listen, Empress, nothing hasn't changed. The barbershop has always been, and the beauty parlors has always been, not just a regular barbershop or a beauty parlor. You can sit in that chair and you will hear the stories that are being told. So it's normal. It's a good point. I hope more ladies will give you feedback and get the real understanding. It happens. But I've jumped to the conclusion that you made a big suggestion to go into these shops, maybe give them that 25 minutes because like you said, this is every day. And this is personal stuff. And like you hit it on the head and Rachel Lambert, the Earl will say it out loud and tonight we Sharmin said it just now. We are all comfortable to go to the barber shop or the beauty shop and tell our personal stuff to that barber. But we are afraid to go to a counselor who is that professional, like Queen Sharmin said, a professional who can deal with it. The lovely Samantha, forget that beautician school, whatever they're training. No. Let them take that semen for problem to a professional. Like Mr. Alan Bodram said last week, stop for a minute and save a life. That's a good thing. But at the end of the day, more than 10 hours listen to that, it's a lot. Take that problem to the appropriate person who can really help you. Be a man, be a woman. The same way you sit in that chair for 30 minutes or more and vent and vent and vent. That person is just going to listen to you. They give you a hearing. How much can they advise you? We're not sure. At the end of the conversation, you may just get up and walk in first, like what? I just poured my heart up here and I got nothing for return. If you went to that professional therapist after that conversation for 30 minutes, it would have been a different lesson. So again, that has been normal, my sister. Ladies, please back me. The lovely sister, you can call your time. I think the ladies can speak for this, but I'm going to go get some dinner and listen to the rest. Queen!
Yes, brother. Thank
Love
you.
This is the world we live in, my darling. I can't speak for the rest of the weekend. This is the world we live in, and I see it and I hear it. I go to a barbershop, where it's a barbershop, and a beautician next door. The ladies are not ashamed to tell their problems. They're not afraid to tell what they're doing out there. And for grown people, it becomes a lot. But you know what? You got to get accustomed to that. Like you said, you don't want to be part of it, but it's there for you to hear it and you can discuss it and people share and let them learn and know what to do. This is about life. Big up five of Rachel.
Brother Earl, before you go, I guess in the past, because we get very desensitized, and I may have observed it years ago, but it didn't impact me like on Saturday. Because I'm looking around and I'm like, I understand vicarious trauma. I understand being burnout.
Okay.
I understand not having a forum where you can let the stuff out.
Exactly.
And I am looking at them and I'm like, how many of them have those outlets? And how many of them know that they're carrying all this stuff?
That's a very good question. Very good question. This is a great part here. This is something to address for barbers and musicians. Now, very good, Queen Sharmin. Wonderful. This is something I think you started something here, and I need to hear from the Empress, Queen Tessa, and the ladies out there. Please come in on this conversation. This is a very good one tonight. Like you said, those barbers they need somewhere to let that out now, to go home and have a normal life with their family. Because can you imagine they're bringing home that to their home?
Yes.
If you had a good home and you start bringing that home, or if you had your own problem and taking this on, compound this and coming home, we got a real situation here.
But brother Earl, the reality is in the human services and in social work school and in psychology, they tell you the importance of you taking time for self-care, because all you're doing is taking on other people's stuff.
Exactly. Correct.
So where is the outlet for these?
You gotta have follow-up classes. I think it's like what you call once a year classes or something. I don't know the right word. It's not these top schools. Another word to be used. You gotta just go to some school of some sort once a year. Yep. We started something here. I would love to hear the rest of this. It's not enough. I'm just as usual. I need to hear the rest of this. Ladies, please come in. Ladies. Please, you all this on the head. I cannot come up this all every Monday night. Time will spend every Monday. God bless you. Continue to show.
Thank you so much, brother.
Let me pick up that DJ. That Tony State. Please beg him to repeat it later. And that shoot, oh my
Which
God.
one?
The rhyme that you can't mix this with that. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? Please let us play back that too. Big up to the DJ.
Chester, is
DJ Chester.
DJ Chester, my apologies, that's right, I don't know. Sorry, DJ Chester, that shoot, but we take you earlier, please. Repeat that shoot later on, okay?
Alright, I got it.
Alright, you want to have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. So, Lady Tessa, I know you're listening, hopefully, and I hope you'll call in to share. I honestly, guys, as I said, for me, it's not about money. It's about meeting a need. And even if I have to take off from work during the day to spend 25 minutes to get beauticians and barbers to vent and understand that they're carrying stuff that they weren't trained for, and give them some techniques how to detach and how to do self-care and make referrals. Sometimes, yes, you want to listen to your customer, but when your customer finish offloading on you, do you have the skills to let it go? When you get home, are you able to be there emotionally, psychologically, mentally for your family after all that intake? What do you do to get rid of all the stuff that you hear every day? Do you offload? So that's my take. If Tessa calls, it would be nice. Or anyone else, that a barber, a beautician, someone that is not a trained clinician or human services professional that has that training, that is actually exposed to becoming a therapist for someone that, you know, your customer, you want to be there for your customer, I understand that, but you're not trained. How do you handle it? How are you handling it? So that was my take from the weekend. You know, there was other stuff. I'm actually doing a new venture, and we started it yesterday. So I'll share that with you when it's actually launched. And when you see what I'm doing, you'll look at and you'll try to weigh, you know, am I gonna give up vibes up? That's no. So don't even raise the question or consider it. I wouldn't. This is just something new. Despite it's closely related, I'll still be here because I've built a fan base here, and I can't abandon you guys like that. So don't be worried, don't be nervous. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. So 718-342-0510, 718-342-0510. And we're supposed to be talking about Alzheimer's, but you know, I observe what I observe and I share that, and that's that. I guess Lady Tessa is not tuned in, so we wouldn't hear from her, but thank you guys. Samantha said to equip ourselves with certain materials to share with our clients. I mean, if anyone take me up on the offer, I'm sure my family, Lady D, you know, my new stylist, is on the, I think I saw her earlier, so I just hope she's on the live feed, and someone picks up my offer, and I don't know how they do it. And Lady D, if you're actually on, can you just share something with us? Let me see the time. Okay, so at 7 o'clock we'll start our topic. And our topic today is Black people and Alzheimer's and dementia. It seems that we are leading the pack, and we will get into some discussions about why that is so, the factors that determine how and why we are susceptible to this disease. And in psychology we say nature, nurture. For Alzheimer and the dementia, it's nature, nurture. Some of us have the nature, which is you born with the genes, and nurture, the environments that you live in, the stressors of your life and the early stressors that you have to deal with. So those are some of the factors. So DJ Chester, take us away. When we come back, we will get into our discussions of about blacks and Alzheimer's, and I'll just touch on it, guys, because next week I will bring in the professional to talk about that and health among black people. She's a physician assistant I will talk to her more in details. But I really want her to come and talk to us about health and wellness, and I'm trying to find an expert about stress, because stress is like the number one factor of most of the diseases that we are plagued with in our communities. So thank you again for tuning in, and thank you again for listening, DJ.
Pop time with Sharmin.
It was you and your ignorance, while the furnace and the soldier and the vigilance. You were the good deliverance, but it was ignorance, fighting ignorance. Can't mix intelligence, negligence. Think you want that no make sense. No, I can't mix intelligence, negligence. So I'm over in the whole of reverence. Boy, can't mix intelligence, negligence. No business out the dollars and resent. Can't mix intelligence, negligence. Negativity in our government. 21 subjects, you pass them all. But if you shopping medication, no pass them all. And you know what it is.
Good job, DJ Chester. I haven't heard some tenor in a little while, you know? So, great job.
Thank you.
Let me confess before we get into the show. Before I came to the show, I'm driving coming and I said, you know, I'm a ball of emotions and I can't come to the show with all this emotion. So I sat in the car a little and I said, you know, maybe I should, maybe I need to cry a little so that I can get out the emotions that I'm feeling, but I didn't cry. Maybe I'll do that when I get home. I'm glad we're not doing anything emotional tonight because I would have been crying because I have some raw emotions that are here. So I just had to get that out. And I thought that I would be a little discombobulated tonight, you know, but you know, this is what God called me to do. So despite my own stuff, once I sit here and the mic in front of me and I open my mouth, I'm good. So thank you guys for listening. I just vented. I needed to do that. So tonight, Alzheimer's. What are your thoughts about Alzheimer's and dementia? Before that, I'm sure you used to hear about old-timers disease and senile. Oh, she's senile, but you never knew what it meant. And now that you're older, you can have a better understanding of what Alzheimer is. And it is recognized as a chronic disease that begins with a pathologic process characterized by deposits of abnormal proteins in the brain in the absence of any detectable cognitive impairment. And I use that definition for a reason. There doesn't have to be, according to this definition, the abnormal proteins could be in the brain, but it would be of cognitive impairment. And it differs from dementia. End stage of Alzheimer's. Guys, I didn't know that until I prepared for this show. I thought the two were used interchangeably, but it's not. One of the, I'm jumping ahead of myself, but I have to say this. One of the reasons why the study really don't have a lot of evidence on black people is because we don't participate in trials. We don't participate in research. And they said it's because of our culture. Now, before I say what I say, because it's a part of my reality check tonight would be, no, I'm going to wait until my reality check time. But we don't participate in researches. Like, there aren't a lot of, like in the Caribbean community with mental health. The statistics for us is bundled with Hispanics because we don't participate. The statistics for Alzheimer and dementia is not what it should be if we would participate and become participants of those studies so that they can do just African American studies or studies for black people. So the predispositions that they're identifying can be because of a very small sample of black people who choose to participate. It is very, very, very important for us to begin to participate in researches, because our white counterparts participate. So the information, they have a lot of information for them, and we don't, because we don't participate. We don't because we think that, oh, we have all these conspiracy theories. The reason why we don't participate, our culture. Our culture, we're now getting into the importance of having a healthcare provider. And I don't know the reasons, because I haven't read any information or studies done on why we don't participate in research. I read somewhere that they say it's because of our culture. But are we going to allow our culture to hinder us forever? Because there's information that we need. Because if the research, if they can study us and the little that they know, because in the future studies and the recommendation, they made a lot of recommendation to conduct specific studies on us, so that the results and the information can be as accurate as possible. So guys, let's start participating even in the trials for medication. If some of you that are on high blood pressure medication, on diabetes medication, when you go to your doctor, remember, sometimes your doctor want to introduce you to a new medication and they'll give you samples. Those samples, the pharmaceutical company had to conduct some studies. Ask your doctor to participate in some studies, because you're providing materials not just for you, but for your generations to come and the people that are coming after you. So let's start I am encouraging you to participate in study. And I don't know if I think I shared it on the show before, that I did my DNA test. I did my ancestry, and I also did my health. And it came back that I have the genes for either early or late onset of Alzheimer's. So that's genetics. When I read the I'm laughing because, you know, if that's fate, it is, but I'll do the best that I can before that happens. If it ever happens, it may not happen. The genes might be very small. My genetic predisposition might be extremely small. But how many of us would take the time to do that? To know what diseases we're predisposed to. You know, we wait until whatever happened, and then you'll be like, oh, I didn't know. But there's so much, there are a lot of genetic tests out there, and it's not too expensive, right? It could be, you could get your health test for, I think, I don't know, $100. I think I paid $200, close to $200 for my DNA. and my health, and then and my ancestry, and then I ordered the ancestry for my mother because I wanted to know more of my maternal ancestry, and that was less than $100. So please ensure that you actually, if you can, do it. You know, do the test. Know what you're predisposed to. Participate in trials so that the next generation can have accurate information on Black people. Because you're reading I'm reading the research, and they want to do more studies on Black people because of our predisposition. We're predisposed because if we came from an area where there was high infant mortality, our predisposition increased. And when they did it with our white counterparts, even though they might have been from the same community with high infant mortality, it seems that our risk increased. Also, poverty. Poverty increases the risk of Alzheimer's. So it's genetics, it's poverty, it's depending on where you were socialized. If you were born and socialized in an environment where there was high infant mortality, your predisposition increased. So those are serious, very serious factors that determine our predisposition. Because a lot of us came out of communities that are poor, and also stressors, high stressors. It's like most of us deal with stress from a very young age. And do we have the right coping mechanisms? I don't know how to measure that. However, those are some of the things that cause us to be predisposed to Alzheimer's and dementia. The number is 718-342-0510. You guys call. Also, I just remember, because I'm going off of my head, I'll go to the notes. High blood pressure, diabetes. So all those diseases that we're predisposed to are factors that can increase our risk to Alzheimer's as Black people. How many of you know that? And that's in addition to genetics. Also strokes. After all these centuries, all the research, they're still trying to understand the brain. And all of this occurs in the brain. That abnormal protein let's get into the medical stuff. Next week when the physician assistant is here, she will get into the medical stuff, because I am not qualified to do that. But I can tell you what I read. Have any of you or do you have personal experience with Alzheimer and dementia? They are doing studies now on the caregivers of patients with Alzheimer and dementia. Do you have experience with that? What is your experience? how did it feel? I remember someone telling me it hurts to walk into the room and your mother doesn't recognize you. So call us and let us know. Share your experience, share your thoughts. The number is 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510. What are your experience, if you had personal experience with Alzheimer's or dementia, and how did you handle it? How have you dealt with it, especially if it's a loved one? I know a lot of people are caregivers to patients that may have Alzheimer or dementia, but if it is your loved one and you're the caregiver, how did you handle that? What was your experience like? How did it affect you? How did it affect you psychologically? How did you deal with it emotionally? Because we may have listeners that are whose loved ones, parents, grandparents are experiencing that, and whatever you might share can help them, can be an encouragement to them. So the number here is 718-342. I don't have any personal experience with it. My mom is going to be 83 this year, and her mind is extremely sharp. We have a running commentary that, you know, if we live to get old as mom, we want our minds to be as sharp as hers. So if I had personal experience, I would have shared it, but I don't. So call us and share your experience with Alzheimer's or dementia. Now, one of the studies says harsh life experiences appear to leave African Americans vulnerable to Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. Now, when I read that, I'm like, harsh life experiences. Some of us, they threw the book at us with harsh life experiences. And if that's one of the precursors, can you imagine in the next couple of years how many black people would have dementia? So guys, in order for, we can stop that, or we can reduce the numbers if we all you know, participate in studies, allow our loved ones who might be on the onset of Alzheimer's or some form of dementia to participate in a study. There is this whole Alzheimer's Association, and they had a conference in London last year, and there were teams from different parts of the world that presented that poverty and is a precursor. A stressful life are all associated with cognitive problems in middle age and dementia later in life among African Americans. You heard that, guys? I'm going to repeat that part. several teams presented evidence that poverty, disadvantage, and stressful life events were strongly associated with cognitive problems in middle age and then dementia late in life. What would be interesting is to identify those cognitive problems that occurred in middle age, so that people who may have signs or symptoms of those cognitive problems can participate in trials and go and get the help. Because we may start forgetting in our middle age, start forgetting things and having basic cognitive problems, but then we don't follow up, right? We think that, oh, it's just age. But guys, if you're noticing a decline in your cognitive ability, you need to speak to your doctor. You need to tell your doctor that. You need to have a conversation because you know your ability, you know how cognitively astute you are. And then you notice that the things that you once did, you're unable to do. Now, and you're not speaking to anyone. So it's important for you to have that conversation with your doctor, if you have one. And if you don't have one, you better get one right now, because it's important. And I think one of the problems for us is that we don't take the car into the shop to get a regular checkup. We wait until something happens. The car is the vehicle, our bodies. We wait until we're sick to see the doctor. No, I'm good. And it has to be something that is serious. Now, I know I just said talk about cognitive problems, and some of you might be saying, what cognitive problems? Cognitive problems that your ability to problem solve. You knew that you were quick. Someone would say something to you, just present a problem to you, and you can solve it just like that. But now you're in middle age, you're seeing the decline. So as you begin to notice the decline, don't wait for it to get worse. Speak to your doctor. Your memory, your ability to remember stuff, you notice that your long-term memory is intact, but your short-term memory is being affected. And a lot of times, you know, among my friends, they would be like, you know, you're over 50, so your memory, and make fun of it. But if you find that your memory is declining, you need to speak to your doctor. Also, if you find that you're not learning as you used to, yes, things are going to decline the way that you did, but you may be reading something and you get up and you walk away, and then when you return, you're like, I don't remember what I just read. Or you're having a conversation, in the midst of the conversation, you're like, where was I? Those are signs, those are the middle age signs that can lead up to Alzheimer's and the dementia in your later years. The number is 718-342-0510, 718-342-0510. I see my son Deadly on the live, and I know he's in Guyana. I'm sure he's not back. Hey Deadly, thank you for tuning in from Guyana, and I hope that you really had a good time and you're promoting that positiveness. Everyone on the live, if you had any experience, any exposure to Alzheimer and dementia, can you share with us? Let us know your experience, whatever it might be. The number is 718-342-0510, 718-342-0510. DJ Chester, you can't mix intelligence with negligence. Right? Right? Alright.
Part time with Sharmin.
Caller, welcome. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. You're live.
Hi, Sharmin. This topic that we're talking about, Alzheimer's dementia, is dear to my heart. And I'm agreeing with everything that you're saying because I really was affected. And I'm in my mid-40s, and what was happening to me was when I parked my car, when I go into work in the morning and park my car, I can't remember where it is. That I work at 8 hours and I couldn't remember where my car is. And it really started affecting me because I work in a nursing home and I work with Alzheimer's dementia patients. So like you said, I went to my doctor, I had it checked out, right? And they keep saying, nothing is wrong with you, you're a young girl, there's nothing wrong with you. But I keep telling my mom, this is not normal. I'm in the medical field, I know it is not normal. So then I went to a herbalist, this lady in Queens, and she told me to take coconut oil. And I am telling you, Sharmin, I took coconut oil, let's say for like a month and a half. Fresh coconut oil my cousin bought from Guyana for me. Problem solved.
Are you serious?
I am telling you the honest to God truth, as there's a God. I'm listening to the topic and it's really touching me. And what I learned about Alzheimer's, because I have family members with Alzheimer's, what I learned is it takes 20 years to manifest itself. So if you're having a problem in your late 40s or mid 40s, it's not going to fully manifest itself until you get into your 60s, or your 70s. So it takes 20 years. So that coconut oil that I got from Guyana, pure coconut oil, I don't know how the lady made it, but my cousin said it's pure. I drank, a small bottle. I think Guyana sells juice in the bottle. I drank 2 bottles of coconut oil, and I'm telling you, I don't have the problem anymore. You can call my mom if you like. You can call my sister. But I am testifying that it's a problem with women, especially women, middle-aged women, with this forgetfulness. And like you're saying, we're not paying attention to it. We're saying, you forget where you park your car, I forget my keys. No, it's not normal to be forgetting when you're so young.
Also, one of the things that, and remember our doctors, our primary care physicians are like gatekeepers. So we will go and present a problem and we know that something is wrong. And because they're not seeing the quote-unquote symptoms that is associated with it, they would be like, you're fine, you're young. But what if you are genetically predisposed? They don't, also there is this special scan now, a brain scan, to see if there has been a deterioration of the gray matter in your brain. And if there is that a deterioration of the gray matter, they can do things to not stop. It can actually I don't want to say halt, but the progress of the Alzheimer would be reduced.
Or slow the process.
It would slow the process down, but it's not like it's reversible. Also, as I shared, genetics, do your genetics test, because I think that he that is forewarned is forearmed. So if you know what you're predisposed to, you're going to take care of it. You're going to do things, whatever, to help. Yes, you won't be able to stop it. But, I mean, me and my friends, as I said, we make fun. Girl, you know I got to write everything down these days. And I'm like, this is not something for us to be joking about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in the nursing home today, 80% of the residents are women. The Alzheimer's dementia nursing home, 80% are women. And I think other than being predisposed and having genetics to go along with that, women must have so much, so they're packed the brain, especially women with a lot of kids. So they're packed the brain for so many years. You understand what I'm saying? So some of them, they may do fine until they get to 70. And before they reach the 90, full-blown Alzheimer's.
But that's if they have the late onset. If they have early onset, it would be much earlier.
Right.
So it could be late onset or early onset, and that's a problem. One of the things that we have to, and I guess the reason women are predisposed is because we carry so much, and stressors are a factor. It's a contributing factor to Alzheimer's.
It is. It is. But I am telling you, I read about it, and I've seen like 2 articles on YouTube. One where a doctor started giving her husband coconut oil in his food. I was drinking like 2 teaspoons every morning, but I saw where this doctor would she would warm the food, or cook the food, and then she put the coconut oil in the food. Because people are saying cooking with it is helping. No, cooking with it is killing the good ingredients of the coconut oil. If you drink it or you put it in your food when the food is already warm, that is a great help to the body and to the brain.
Well, you heard it. I mean, we don't know how effective it is, but it could be that it can actually halt the process for a moment. But my encouragement to you, because I think I heard you say that it's in your family.
Yeah.
So
my great aunt has it.
Okay, there's a possibility that you can be genetically predisposed. So I did my ancestry and my health at, I think it's 1, 2, 3, because you could do the combo, and you get the ancestry, like your genetic makeup, how much percentage of blacks and where West African or whatever you are. But I like the idea that they can tell you what diseases that you are genetically predisposed to.
Okay, I never did that. I can look into that.
Please do.
But I do want women in their 40s to take it very serious. I'm really, the conversation, the topic is dear to my heart. I want them to take it serious, because a lot of people, like you said, they're saying, oh, write everything down, and people are finding it funny. When I leave work and I'm like, I can't find my car, one time a co-worker of mine was looking through her window, and she said, Abby, I thought you were exercising, walking, running around the block. I just find that funny. It really hurt my heart. I said, I didn't remember where I parked my car. And that is when I said, no, this is serious, and I took it in hand, and right now, as we speak, I don't have a problem. I can tell you exactly every single day where my car is. And had it not been for the coconut oil, also turmeric. Had it not been for the coconut oil and the turmeric, I probably would have continued to decline, but I have no more problems. And my major problem was my car. I find that, you should be able to know, regardless of what kind of day you have at a hospital or what, you should be able to find your car is from between 7 in the morning and 5 o'clock or, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
But may I ask, Abby, was that the only sign? Did you find that, because before you called, I was sharing that sometimes women in their 40s there's a decline in their ability to problem solve, or there is some cognitive skills that they have lost, and they're like, oh, well, it comes with age. Was there any other signs?
There were other signs, but that was the major one. That was the one that really affected me the most. They were like, you forget, you leave the house and you forget your phone, you leave the house, you forget your keys, stuff like that. But, and even if you're having a conversation and you said, oh, I forgot what I was talking about, that short-term memory, those were some of the signs that I was having that I'm not having now.
Okay, so we may have to be drinking some coconut oil.
I'm telling you, they laughed at me when I talked about it, but like I said, I went to a herbalist in Queens. She told me that. She said, you have to drink pure coconut oil, get it from Guyana. It's a Jamaican lady. She's on Linden Boulevard in Queens. She said, get it from Guyana, drink a teaspoon every morning, and come back to me and tell me different. She said, I don't want to put you on game cold, but I don't want to put you on any of those stuff. Just get pure coconut oil. And to my amazement, it worked. It worked fine. And I stopped drinking it now, but I probably, when I get some more, I'll start back again.
So how long did you take it for?
I would say I take it for about 3 weeks to a month, 3 to 4 weeks. Every religious morning.
Okay.
And then I had gotten some turmeric from Guyana, so I blend that up with fruit juice, so I had a combination of the two. But to me, the coconut oil was my thing, because I drank more of that. Because let me say I did the turmeric for a week. I drank more of the coconut oil, the pure coconut oil, and I'm telling you, Sharmin, I'm amazed. It worked for me. I can swear by it.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm really enjoying your topic, and thanks a lot, and I'm going to be listening now, but I hope the listeners really do take my advice for you. You're having problems forgetting certain things, take it seriously, like Sharmin said, it's not a joke. We can write down things, but when your memories start to decline, it's an issue, because your brain tells your body what to do. So if you're starting having problems at 40, what's going to happen to you 50s, 60s, and 70s, you're no longer going to live, you're just going to exist. And, that's not the reason for us being on Earth. You know what I mean? So that's my advice.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. The number is 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510. And tonight our topic is Black people and Alzheimer's and dementia. There are different forms of dementia. Alzheimer is the first part of it. I share the definition of Alzheimer. Calling you live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good evening, Sharmin. This is Marcel.
Hi. How are you, Marcel?
I am truly blessed, thank you. And that topic is very, very near and dear to my heart because it was one of the reasons why I went into nursing.
Okay.
When I was in my 20s, about 30, 35 years ago, my grandmother was diagnosed with it, but at that time we didn't know what it was. We just thought she was going crazy, mad people decided to, because she was doing the weirdest stuff. Going in the toilet bowl and eating what she passed out and, talking to herself herself in the mirror, and we couldn't understand what was happening with her because this was a, you know, reasonably educated woman, and just all of a sudden, one morning she woke up, she fell, took her to the doctor, and she was sick. It was just downhill from there. We didn't have any medication back home at that time to address the problem. And so it always worried me what was wrong with my grandmother. And so when I migrated, I started, I needed a job, so I went to do the CNA course. And we touched on Alzheimer's, and it dawned on me there that that was what was wrong with my grandmother. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I bawled my eyes out because I did not, you know, I mean, I couldn't do anything for her. So I told myself I needed to do something in tribute of her. So I started to study dementia and Alzheimer's and worked with geriatric patients for most of my life. So I'm always on top of my mother, saying to her, you read, you gotta keep reading, do puzzles, read the newspaper. Don't so much as to sit in front of the TV and look at it, but actually do something that will use your brain. Because, you know, it's as you said, it's a cognitive problem. Mm-hmm. So, you know, every time she sits down and she's not doing anything, I go to the dollar store and I buy numerous amounts of word search books and stuff like that, and you know, make her do them and not look at TV or be on the computer, even being on the computer, you know what I mean? But just actually to read and to think. And I don't like studies. I personally don't like studies because you don't know whether you're getting the placebo or you're getting the real thing. And some of those medications really destroy your body when they're in the testing stages. I tried taking part in testing, and it really damaged me. So that's my personal experience. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You really need to know and really need to find out what will help us, because those studies honestly do help us in the sense that they will know what medication we need as that medication pertains to us. Like a lot of black people are using for blood pressure, lisinopril. Lisinopril wasn't manufactured for black people. It was manufactured for white men during the war, and we have a lot of side effects using black people using lisinopril. It's not a pill that when your doctor gives you, telling you don't want it, there's other things that you can use.
But Marcel, I don't know if you were on when I said that because we don't participate in studies and researches, some of the medication were not created with us in mind.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I'm afraid only because I know, for me, it damages me. You know, it has damaged me. I tried to take part, and because it was in it. You see, the thing is, when you're going to do a study, if you're going to take part in the study, you need to let them tell you every single thing about the medication, and you need to know if it's something. So you have to do your own research, because they want to do their research. So they're going to give you stuff, and they're not going to tell you anything. Then you end up in the hospital, and you're sick. Kidney failure, heart disease, you know, and it really and truly can affect you like that. And then what we don't, as black people, most of us don't have a health benefits. And we have to use our own, when we go to do a testing, we've got to use our own health benefits to check with our doctors to make sure we're okay. So that's one of the reasons people, I think, are afraid, because they say, if anything happens to me when I'm doing this testing, who is going to help me? Who is going to take care of me? And, you know, so we are skeptical. And I think that it's cultural too. I mean, when we growing up, nobody knows about testing nothing and doing nothing. You know what I mean? So we didn't do those things. But you're right, we have to do something because we need to get this medication. We need to go on this medication, you know? But with Alzheimer's, what I find is that, and diabetes and high blood pressure and everything, one of the things we got to remember is that people say we're predisposed, and yes, we are predisposed, but one of the other things is that we can remove those, so we can slow down the process. Because when I'm growing up, I am learning from my mother and my grandmother how to cook, and what to cook and what to eat. And when I learned those things, I practiced them, that changed, and therefore we should change our eating pattern. We still dump the salt in the food because that's how we see our parents cooking. So what we have to learn to do, if we want to get rid of some of these health problems and remove some of those predispositions, we have to change and start looking at how our eating habits and our lifestyle fit with our diseases, and so we can break those chains and change our DNA pattern. We can change our DNA pattern because you just gotta eat properly, exercise better, learn what's good for you. You know, as you said, you know, you talk about doing that thing with blood, the testing.
Yes.
When we test ourselves, we can find out what is it that we should not eat. What will bother us more than what kind of food will bother us? Are we predisposed to carbohydrates? Should we not eat so much carbs? Or are we, why not breaking them? So we have to learn and look and read and see how we can change our DNA and not make ourselves predisposed anymore to these things. I know that a couple of months ago, I started to notice I wasn't remembering things. And I am like, I'm 65. What do you mean? I mean, I'm reading something. I'm back in school and I'm trying to read. I'm falling asleep. I can't remember. And in the middle of the conversation, I'm like, what was I saying? And if I don't cut you and tell you what I need to say right now, that's it. My part of the conversation is finished. And I went to my doctor and I'm trying to explain to her, listen, there's something wrong with me. I know I worked nights for the last 30 years. And I barely got any sleep. But there's something that is wrong with me, and she's not listening. Mm-hmm. And so I started to ask her for the different tests that I need. I said, this is what I want. She said, well, why you don't really need it? Maybe you're menopause. And I said, all the more. Check me to see whether I'm menopause. And I want to know if my levels are low. I want to find out what's going on with me. So you need to do me those tests. And if you don't want to do it, I'm telling you, give me my record. I need to find a doctor who's going to give me these tests, because I know this is my body and I know that there's something wrong. And you cannot tell me that there's nothing wrong. I'm just getting old. I'm suffering from worship disorder, and yes, and all those things might be true, but I have to get proactive in my life, with my health, and decide and know what I need to do to change what's going on in my lifestyle. I start walking more. I stopped working nights. I started to change my hours of work. In fact, I told him, I said, that's it. I'm done working. I'm retiring. Or whatever I have, I'm living on it. I'm not going through this anymore. But you have to get proactive with your life, and you have to change things that are, because we don't just get hypertension and we're so predisposed. If we are eating the same way we are eating like our mother and our mother's mother and our mother's mother, we are going to keep carrying it on in our DNA. So we've got to do all of those things,
That is so, I'm happy. Thank you for raising the concern about our eating habits. Because I think a couple of months ago or sometime last year, I shared that according to our blood type, some of us are not supposed to consume certain foods because it would not, our bodies, the health test that you do with the ancestry test also tells you what you should be eating and what doesn't go with your body. However, the blood type, if you're a type A, you're not supposed to be consuming meat because because of your blood type, it doesn't break it down. So and there are all these studies done, but there are people that think that research is some form of conspiracy, and so we don't participate in those things, and we don't have specifics about us.
Right. We
are actually included in a generalized statistics or number.
And the thing about it too, one of the faults is that our foreparents never told us what was wrong with them.
No.
We don't know whether they had cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer. we don't have a history of what our foreparents went through. I don't know even my great grandmother or my, you know what I mean? I barely know about my grandparents because, I was old enough and I was around. But a lot of times we are hiding these things and they don't want to tell us, they don't want us to know. So we can't go to the doctor with a good history of what's going on with us, and we don't want to take accountability too for the things that we should or shouldn't do, and we have to, we have to, because we're going to pass it on to our children if we don't, And being middle age and cognitive deficiency is the fact that a lot of us women, when we get a certain age, we are busy with our children and we're trying to bring them up, we single parents, father died or father was never around and all those things. And what happened is that we kind of don't go back to school. We stop learning. We come home, we're too tired, we stop in front of the TV. We look at TV, we're there until midnight, we fall asleep. We haven't picked up a book, we haven't read anything. And our brains, we're losing the brain cells. They're dying and we're not rejuvenating them. We're not going for a walk, we're not exercising, we're not doing anything for that blood flow to go to the brain to rejuvenate the brain, and therefore the brain is going to slowly die. One of the things I know that is not good for us to use is like an aluminum foil pan, an aluminum pot, because they help to form deposits on our brains. When we eat from them, over years and years of us, having our barbecue and stuff, and we putting it in the aluminum foil pan, the little deposits are coming off, and they do get deposits into our brains, and sometimes that's what the doctors then see as, eating out our brain matter and help it. So we have to read up and learn and, as you say, take part in stuff. The truth is we should take part. I just don't like it, but, we have to be more proactive and get involved because everybody else is and taking care of themselves. And, we complain and say, oh, well, they don't like us, we this, we that, whatever. But, those are excuses, and But
I guess one of the things that I need to do is to inquire about, I'll research it and find a list of the trials that are being done to share with the audience, because it's important for us to participate in those studies, because I read 3 studies in preparation for this show, and all of the recommendations were to conduct studies on African Americans or black people.
I get lots of letters asking me to do because as I said, I did one, and so since then, there are places that specifically, are funded all the time to do research. So if you find one, and you let them know, they put you on the list, they bombard you all the time. Because they're always looking, you fit exactly what you're looking for, black, this is my age group, you're diabetic, you're hypertensive, you're this, you have cancer, you're this, you're that, so it's like,
Also, Marcel, Marcel, sometimes we don't have to participate in actual studies. Some instruments used to conduct research are simple surveys. Someone may call us on the phone and say, can I ask you a few questions? Or you might receive something in your email, or your doctor asks you to complete a survey. That's participation.
Exactly.
Because those are instruments that are used to gather data.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, guys, instead of ignoring the calls and ignoring the invitation to participate in a survey, participate in it because you're going to give...
Ask questions yourself to see how you can participate. If you cannot participate in one way, if you ask questions, maybe as you said, there's just a simple survey we can do,
Yes.
Okay, well, that's my
Thank you so much, Marcel. You're very welcome. The number here is 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510. And our topic tonight is Black people and Alzheimer and dementia. I'm really happy that I came because, I wasn't sure how I would have been able to conduct the show, but I'm happy that I came in. Yes, the number is 718-342-0510. If you have any personal experience, with Alzheimer or depression or dementia, I like mental health. I didn't say depression. You can call and share with us. Someone might, be able to learn from that. If you're in your mid-40s, 50s, and you're at a disadvantage if you have a stressful life, if you're dealing with cognitive problems, in your middle age, it could later develop into dementia. So guys, you want to ensure that you're paying attention. Don't make fun that, oh my God, if I don't write it, I don't remember. Or, hey, it's age. If you find that your ability to problem solve is not as sharp as they used to be, start paying attention to it. If you find that the way that you learned, you're not learning before. When you read, you're not retaining. You're having a conversation, and in the midst of the dialogue you're having, you forgot where you are, and you're saying, what did I just say? So those are the things, those are signs, and you have identified the cognitive difference, the difference in your cognitive ability. Speak to your doctor, and sometimes when we speak to our doctors, we have to insist and demand what we want, because our doctors may not be seeing the severity of whatever the symptoms we're presenting. So they may not want to agree with a test, but you just have to demand it. The number is 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510.
Time with Sharmin.
There are so many unanswered questions, so much unanswered questions. But I sleep, let my heart still answer. What have I done to you? Why you wanna treat me like a criminal? I'm not a criminal. What have I done to you? Why you wanna come to my funeral? Come to my funeral. What have I done to you? Why you wanna treat me like a criminal? I'm not a criminal. What have I done to you? Why you wanna come to my funeral? The pain has never make me sweat yet. Then never make me nervous. No. They can't come near when the office stay far and I'm just to protect my life. No, I'm running and no, my life. Somebody can't judge, I know. My business is behavior, you love why so. You're running up, just to protect my life. No, I'm running and no, my life. Somebody can't judge, I know. My business is behavior, you love why so. Every man of the problems, no boy can't carry my load. Yes, sir. Just tell me rate and not the car when I'm home. Every man up my finger, oh, shut down ginger. Man will never sing help because I'm still. Me no why me on the topic of your day.
back to Talk Time with Sharmin. You're tuned in, and our topic tonight is Alzheimer and dementia in Black people. Now, there was this, as I said earlier, the Alzheimer's Association International had a conference in London, and there were different teams, and there was one commonality among the presentation that poverty, disadvantage, and stressful life events are strongly associated with cognitive problems in middle age and dementia later in life among African Americans. One of the alarming things that I found, I don't know if it's alarming, it is because I didn't know anything about Alzheimer and dementia. I thought it was one or the same. However, the findings could not explain why African Americans, Black people, because Caribbean Americans are included in that, are twice as likely as white people to develop dementia. So Black people are twice as likely to develop dementia. Why? They don't know. And what the same research suggests, that genetics are not a major factor or contributor. So, it's either you're genetically predisposed or it's the environment. So what they're thinking is that genetics it's not a major contributor. But in order for them to really be sure about that, we have to participate in some studies. We have to participate in some trials. And we don't because of our culture. We don't because of our belief system. Someone may ask us to participate in just take a survey, answer a few questions, like the ancestry test, the genetic test that I did. You can participate in a lot of studies by completing questionnaires or surveys, and just answering those questions accurately can provide information about us, and it's not something that we do. There was this, I hope I can call it, this researcher, her name is Megan Zulersdorf, and she's a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Wisconsin. And she found that the increased risk of African Americans seemed to be a matter of experience rather than ancestry. So our life experiences seems to be a greater contributor or factor, or have a higher percentage of predisposition than ancestry. Can you imagine that? And they're saying poverty. Look how many of us were born and raised in poverty. Look how many of us were exposed to or grew up or socialized in a disadvantaged neighborhood. How many of us have experienced serious stressors in our life, stressful life events, traumatic experiences? Well, we talk about trauma so often. our exposure to traumatic life experiences is a factor over or rather than our ancestry. That's serious and that's extremely major. For us, it's scary also, I must say. When I read it, I was like, okay, this is scary. Now, scientists are struggling to understand why Africans or American black people are so likely to develop dementia. They are also more likely to have conditions like high blood pressure and diabetes, which can affect the brain. Previous research has found some evidence that black people are more likely to carry genes that raises the risk. So we're genetically predisposed, and then you have all these life experiences. So it's nature and nurture. What a double whammy, you know? But I believe that the earlier we can identify it, I don't know if it can be fixed or we can decrease the destruction of the gray matter in our brain. I don't know. I haven't done the research. And I don't know what fixed the problem. So it is something that we really need to take seriously. There is this researcher who has done quite a number of studies that accounts for the differences between black people and white people when you compare dementia. And he said that all he saw that there is still something missing. So here is a researcher that did all these studies on dementia and compared black people and white people, but he said there is still something missing. And he suggests that the missing factors involve adverse life experiences beginning in childhood. Now, when I read that, I had to stop for a moment because for me and my sisters who have suffered traumatic experiences in our childhood that we didn't ask for, that here we are, that can affect us in our midlife or later life because of those traumatic experiences. And those traumatic experiences are already linked to diseases including heart disease and cancer. And you guys know when I read that what happened, right? That's the reality of the links between our experiences and our health. So we need to participate in more studies. The number is 718-342. What is your experience? Do you have any experience? What do you think? Are you in your midlife and you have noticed some cognitive differences and changes? You were quick at problem solving. You don't problem solve the way you do anymore. You don't learn the way you do. Your memory is not as sharp as it used to be. You know, call us and share. And while we wait for your call, I have two reality checks tonight. And I have two reality checks. One was already planned, and the other one came up this afternoon, like before I came here. The first one is, do you know what diseases you are predisposed to? What are your medical predispositions? Are you predisposed to whatever? Do you know? And the next one is, how do you handle, or can you handle something new in your midlife? Is it easy to handle something that you've never experienced prior to attaining or entering into your midlife? And here you are experiencing something that you have never experienced. Do you think you have the fortitude to endure it psychologically, emotionally, and even physically? So those are my reality check. I left the community update in my computer. Just left it. But one of the things that was in my community update is the 17-year-old young woman whose husband slit her throat in Guyana. 17 years old, married. And when I've been following the story, her husband almost killed his ex-girlfriend. Now, first thing, she's 17, she's been married, I think, I don't know how long. She's a high school dropout. It's Guyana, things happen, culture, religion, some of those things are allowed. But who no, I'm not gonna say that. Condolences to her family. Why was this man who almost killed his ex-lover allowed to marry someone else? In Guyana, everybody knows everybody's business. Nobody could have said anything. Was he charged? I don't understand the details, but that was one of the highlights of our updates. 17 years old. And last week, sorry. Remember my very first reality check? Do you have a healthcare proxy? If anything happened to you tonight, this thing just keep reoccurring. Would your kids be fighting over if they should resuscitate you or incubate you because you have not taken the time to do that. Does anyone in your family knows that if anything happened to you tonight, you don't want to be incubated or resuscitated? Have you made that decision? Or are you going to be selfish and wait until something happens and you're grieving and your family that is in pain has to make that decision? Is that fair to them when you can do it now? And you can have that discussion and if possible write it and come let me notarize it for you. You know, free of charge. I don't charge. I just do the notary for people. So that it could be that, yes, this is what daddy, mommy, auntie, whomever, DNR, do not resuscitate me. Do not incubate me. No, don't do that. Just let me go. Don't keep me on a machine. Does your family know that? Does anyone close to you know that? Have you had those discussions? What are you predisposed to? How do you handle new beginnings in your midlife? Oh, 3. You were fortunate tonight to get 3 reality check. Now, if I have any men or women that had, or anyone that didn't come out right, I'm so sorry, because I have to think about my gay listeners, and if they don't identify as men or women, you know, LGBTQ listeners, my apology. However, if you're in your midlife and there is this new experience, have you endured that? Have you experienced that? And how did you handle it? Do you know what you're predisposed to medically? And do you have a healthcare proxy? Does your loved ones know if you want to be DNR or DNI? The number is 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510.
Pop time with Sharmin.
Still be fighting for better, and we not gonna stop it. Go back to keep on and get justice. 'Cause if you lose your stand, everyone will try to push you over and over. Lift up your hand, hold it up high. We know that we'll win the
Never see the icon get confused, yo. I'm the
Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin, calling you live. Good night, Ricky. How are you? You enjoy the show? Yeah. Okay. Wow, so you've really been listening, Ricky?
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you for calling. And I hope you share that information with someone else, Ricky.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Don't keep that information to yourself. Share it with...
I share it with my friend.
Oh, you share it with your friend?
Yeah.
Right. Well, continue to do that. And make sure your friends share it with another friend too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And you have a good night. All right. Bye-bye. So, of course, before we went into the topic, I shared my Saturday experience with you guys. And I know Tessa didn't call in because I'm sure she wasn't listening to the program. But I hope she's listening now. I didn't see her join. However, what I noticed is that a lot of barbers and beauticians became the therapists for the populace. And here we have beauticians like Tessa that are not trained human service professionals, or they're not trained therapists, and they are handling all these people that dump their problems on them. My question is, that's why I wouldn't have ended unless I got an answer. Because I want to know, how do they separate what's happening professionally from their personal lives? How do they avoid burnout? And how do they separate? This one customer just dropped all their problems about, I don't know. I heard this young man came in and he was telling his barber, man, okay, man, I got a 65. I have a 65-year-old girlfriend. Boy, if you see her body. So I raised my head and I looked at him, and I don't think he's 40. But then I'm listening because I want to hear the conversation. But the barber just started to talk to someone else. Because maybe the barber don't want to handle that. But he's just stood there because I guess he's going to have his conversation about his 65-year-old girlfriend and what a slamming body she has. Now after he leaves, someone else come and they're talking about their children. And then someone else came and they were talking about their child mother or children mother. How does that beautician or the barber handle that at the end of the day and when they get home? Calling your life. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Hi, Miss Sharmin. Good afternoon.
Tessa, thank you. Thank you so much because I have questions for you.
Uh-huh.
So I was in the beauty salon on Saturday, and it's a mixture of a salon and a barbershop. And I'm listening to the customers, and it's like every other person is sharing their problems with the barber or the beautician. My question is, because that's like therapy, that's like a therapist. How do you guys, first thing, when that happens, how do you handle it?
Well, that happens, but not with me. It's like most of the time, customers, people come to the shop just to release the stress or whatever. If they're going through any problems with whoever, they release everything to us. With us, as physicians, we have to know what to say and how to say it. Sometimes it is frustrating because I don't know what to say. Because I can't put myself in another woman's shoes or another man's shoes, so I don't know what to say. But sometimes, you just have to know how to comfort them, tell them what you think, there's an opinion, what you think they should do or whatever. And that's about it.
Okay, so you hearing that I work 5 days a week. I'm sure you work excessive. I work 40 hours a week. Let's say, and I have, out of that 40 hours, I spend 25 dealing with other people's personal problems. When I get home, because of my training, I know how to separate the two. I know how to decompress. I know that when I'm on the verge of burnout, I know how to practice self-care. Mm-hmm. What do you do after 3 days, 10-hour shifts, so that's 30 hours, of being bombarded with other people's problems? How do you, I'm serious. I mean,
hey, because this question is so funny to me. I party, I go and drink with Sharmin.
Well, you see, Tessa, no, and you know why I wanted you to respond to me? Because I know you would keep it real.
Yeah, I go, I take a drink, I party, I have fun. That's it.
But it's the partying, it's not a healthy coping mechanism.
No, because the next day you go back to the same thing.
And you're repeating the same thing.
Yes.
So
but to me, it eats me a lot.
For the moment, it's a quick fix.
Yeah.
But after a time, quick fixes does not work. What would you do?
I don't know. I don't know what would I do when this part doesn't work. I gotta try something else.
So here's my recommendation. I said that in the beginning before we went into our topic, that I am going to offer myself, because I sat there, mind you, I work in human services almost all my life. So I know what burnout is. I don't know how you guys leave home and go and deal with your families after hearing everybody else's problem.
Well, right now, I don't have a family up here right now.
But think about your staff that has families.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're going through.
So, Tessa.
I just share my opinion.
But sometimes some of those stuff, Tessa, my recommendation is that I would offer 25 minutes to 45 minutes to your staff on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So that they can vent for them and develop some healthy coping mechanisms and self-care practices.
That would be so nice because I have one particular staff. When customers come to the shop and they're talking and like telling her problems and things, soon the customer leaves, or sometimes before the customer leaves, she would say, well, why are you always coming in? I don't want to hear this stress. Everybody has stress. So then I started telling her, no, you don't do things like that. Even her talking, just listen.
But she can't take it. She's burnt out.
But that's a part of our job.
No, a part of your job is not being a therapist. You did not.
They come to the shop just to ease their mind.
No, but you were trained to make them look pretty and walk out.
Yes.
You were not. You were not trained that when they come in, they drop all their burden on you. You make them look pretty. They left looking pretty. So you're and
they after they leave, the burden, whatever they talk, and I forget everything about that.
Really, Tessa? But then you might forget. You have developed what some therapists do, right? When you're burned out, people can bombard you with information, and you would be hearing but not hearing because you've detached yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, but is that a healthy coping mechanism? But
that's all the time.
The offer is there, and then what we need to do is to get you guys, train you guys in a way that you can listen and say, and just listen. Okay, This problem is beyond me. I have a list of cards here, or a list of people that you can call.
Okay.
And you begin to point them in the right direction, because now they're not seeing you until 2 weeks. Until they have 2 weeks of stuff, they're coming back to dump on you again. That's not what you signed up for, was it?
I know, but I'm used to it. So
yeah, you need
it
some.
It don't really bother me right now.
You need some help, Tessa.
It really don't bother me.
But that's the wall that you have put up now, that you have erected to insulate yourself.
Exactly.
And eventually that wall is gonna cave in on you. And I'm looking at all these barbers and I'm like, oh my God, this is for real. That people just come into the salon or the barber shop and just dump. And these are not professionals. They're not therapists. They're not trained to handle this. How are they coping?
Sometimes I just like try to tell a joke. Try to tell a joke and they laugh. Especially when the women come in with their man problems or whatever. I said, just take the next man. Whatever, do just make it turn to that joke.
Well, we need to do something different. First thing, your staff need some, some support, and that's very, very important. I'm offering my help, but we need to do something for your customers, because they have real problems.
A lot.
And they're not getting the help that they need. And they come and they dump on you, but then when they walk out, there is no solution in sight. And we just need to fix that. That when they come to your salons, they know that, okay, I know Tess is gonna give me a referral, and when I go back next week or next 2 weeks, she's gonna ask me my progress. And and then also, Tessa, if they're not If they're not willing to go and seek the help, invite them some afternoon or some evening to your shop and have a support group. So they can see that you're taking the initiative to help them as opposed to sitting and listening to them. And you just tell me when is the support group and I bring in some professionals so that they can sit and talk to them, so that they can see the importance of seeking help and not dumping on you.
Okay. I was glad to do that.
All right, so I'm here.
Okay, Ms. Sharmin, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, guys. Whew. Thank you, Tessa. Thank you, Tessa. Thank you, Tessa. I didn't want to go home with that burden on me, because I saw, I was carrying that. 718-342-0510. You have how many minutes? 20 minutes? 15 minutes? You could call and just, if you choose to talk about our topic about black people and Alzheimer's, or people using the barbershop or the salon to as their therapy sessions. They need to listen to NF. DJ Chester, see if you can find NF. Yeah, and he has a song called Therapy Session, or Mansion. Yeah.
What would you say if someone said to you that they need you? Would you play stubborn?
Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
And while DJ Chester look for that tune, if they go to it again.
Yes.
Sharmin?
Yes, Brother Earl, I'm here.
That topic was very eye-opening, great knowledge. Thank all those callers for the great information. That was big tonight. I love all that knowledge in regards to Alzheimer's. I got to look into some of those things. I mean, so far, God bless, I'm still the same. Nothing has changed, but I will do a checkup to look into that. That's everything in regards to that. That's a very good topic tonight. Great knowledge, very good.
Thank you, brother.
Let's pick up the sponsors who keep this radio station going every night. Big up all the sponsors. So, Miss Tessa?
Yes.
Queen Sharmin?
Yeah.
I know you're going to have a personal talk with her. Because this is my wonderful sister. She has created a temporary solution for what she thinks is her problem. It's my sister, that's not going to help you. But like she says, you do it today and you come back tomorrow, you do it all over again. It's 7 days a week they have to go through this.
Yeah.
But like we said, let me give her much blood for calling in and to show you that, like you said, you needed answers and that was the best person. So big up to the sister. In 3 reality callers tonight were deep. Very deep. But I'm already gone with the DNR. Don't even bother with me. Let me go back.
All right, I'm proud of you, brother.
I'm going home. I'm ready. I've got a good night to update me. I'm begging you, I don't even cry. I got to get Carlos and the son, but I know I can't go joke out like one person. Yeah, don't cry. I'm gone. Goodbye. I took you. I'm going to see me on the other side. Trying something in this stage of life, it's never too old to try. In today's world and life, in the workplace, there's always new things to try. And I'm always willing to try because most of them is on technology and you have to keep up with it. So I'm always willing to try things. You hit it hard, but I gotta touch it also. The topic of predisposed disease. Predisposed disease. I think I'd like to get some information. I'm gonna have to look into that on my own, but that's a very good that one is deep. Predisposed disease. Wow. I would love you to elaborate, but you don't have the time. I will do my own research. Very good. Thank you much. Great resolution. Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother.
No, but listen, before you go, one more. On one of your community corners, we're going to touch it very lightly. Our condole on the situation back home.
Yeah.
Our condolences to the family. Let me just say this and let's say this in together. That authorities help the citizens of your country. That authorities help your citizens of the country. May that child so rest in peace. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Same to you, Brother Earl.
Thank you, my empress. Have a good night.
Good night. I just want to say something to Brother Earl about the my reality corner. Are you predisposed? Do you know what diseases you are predisposed to? The thing about it, the only way for us to know what diseases we are predisposed to is to do that DNA test about our health. You could do the ancestry. You can choose to do ancestry if you want to know where in Africa you're from, or you can do the health. And you can do the health and know what diseases you are predisposed to. I believe that it's important for us, especially when we're entering our midlife, that we can take precautions and not be blindsided with a diagnosis or diagnoses. So get the DNA test. Give yourself that as a gift. It's $200, you know. I make fun that I have, I think, 3% of Ashkenazi Jew in my DNA, and I think I have like 93% or 90 something, a very high percentage of West Saharan African, yeah, and a 0.0 something percent, they don't know. But it's interesting to see, and you would know what diseases you're predisposed to. So it's very important for you to do that. You know, knowledge is power. People without knowledge perish. We don't want to perish anymore. There enough technology out there for us to utilize and become more wise, knowledgeable, and self-aware. So, Tessa, we're going to be working on that. It's not fair to them, but there is this Christian rapper, because that's not hip-hop, that's rap, and his name is NF. N as in Nancy, F as in Frank. And NF has written songs about his life. His mother was an addict, died from her addiction. There is a song that he sang called Mansion, where he spoke about I talk about mask, and he talk about a room where he has locked away everything, and that particular room you don't want to visit. Some of us have those traumatic experiences that we don't want to talk about. And if you listen to him, do not listen to his music if you are not ready to deal with your stuff. You know, I like to use stuff as a reference. Don't listen to his music if you're not ready to deal with your stuff. He sounds like Eminem. So if my DJ was able to find Therapy Session, I really like that one. And I have like a couple, I have all of his albums. But there are a couple of them that there are times I have to listen to it. So enjoy NF as we wrap up the show.
Pop time with Sharmin. Talk time with Sharmin. Talk time with Sharmin.
Yeah, I got a talking to fans, and one of them pulled me aside and said we never met, but I swear that you know who I am. I've been through a lot. I don't know how to express it to people. Don't think that I can, but I got that mental CD on rotation that's real for me that you do not understand. It's crazy for me. Kids in New York City sling their dress on a daily. This music is more than you think. Don't book me for just entertainment. It's entertaining. Hearing these parents, they telling their kids my music is violent. You gotta be kidding me. I guess that your definition of violence and mine is something that we look at differently. How do you picture me? You want me to smile? You want me to laugh? You want me to walk in the stage with a smile on my face when I'm mad? For real. I mean, what you expect from me? I'm trying to do this respectfully. They say that life is a race. I know the problems are born. Catch up eventually. My best to be gone. How you gon' write me and tell me you slaughtered my family? That's just a glimpse of the stuff that gets sent to me. These are the parts of my life that I'm missing. Yeah, I gotta stay like a month ago. I was talking to fans and one of them pulled me aside and said we never met.
Talk time with Sharmin. Talk time with Sharmin.
I don't know how to express it to people. Don't think that I can, but I got that mental CD on rotation that's real for me that you do not understand. It's crazy for me. Kids in New York City sling their dress on a daily. This music is more than you think. Don't book me for just entertainment. It's entertaining. Hearing these parents, they telling their kids my music is violent. You gotta be kidding me. I guess that your definition of violence and mine is something that we look at differently. How do you picture me? You want me to smile? You want me to laugh? You want me to walk in the stage with a smile on my face when I'm mad? For real. I mean, what you expect from me? I'm trying to do this respectfully. They say that life is a race. I know my problems will probably catch up eventually. I do my best to be calm. How you gon' write me and tell me you slaughtered my family? That's just a glimpse of the stuff that gets sent to me. These are the parts of my life that I'll never see. I ain't no way it's aggressive. I am not here for acceptance. I don't know what you expected, but what you expect when you walk in a therapy session. This girl in the show looked me in the face and told me her life's full of drama. Said her dad is abusive, apparently he likes to beat on her mama. I got so angry inside, I wanted to tell her to give me his number. But what you gon' do with it, right? You gon' hit him up, then I start hitting her harder, that's right. These kids, they come to my shows and tears in their eyes. They just don't wanna connect you and saying your music's the reason that they're alive. I don't know how to handle it. This type of life isn't glamorous. This ain't an act for cameras. You see me walking these stages, I have to get what I'm doing with that. This is the way that I cope with all my emotion. I'm taking pictures with thousands of people, but honestly, I feel like nobody knows me. I'm trying to deal with depression. I'm trying to deal with the pressure. Like you gon' tell me my music does not have a message. When I'm out of this for other people. Yeah, I got some things in my life. I know I should let them go. Try to go. When we take a minute, I put it all on this microphone. Think about that for a minute. What is the point of this song just written, but what you expect from the therapy? Yeah. Yeah. What you think about me? That doesn't worry me. I know I handle some things immaturely. I know that I need to grow and mature. I ain't walking these stages in front of these people and act like I live my life perfectly. That doesn't work for me. Christian is not the definition of a perfect. Yeah. I ain't the type to be quiet. I ain't gon' sit here in silence and fall and say what I say to your face, and I promise you I wouldn't say it in public. I ain't a lame. People go up on my page and I'm trying to click on reply, but this is ridiculous. I'm passionate, man. I really mean what I'm writing. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100. Okay, I'll keep it 100. I see a whole lot of talking on social, but honestly, I don't see nothing in public. I kinda love it, yeah. Why don't you write us some happy raps? That would be awesome.
write about life. I write about things that I'm actually dealing with. Something that I'm actually experiencing. This is real for me. Like, this is something that personally helps me as well. I'm not confused about who gave me the gift. God gave me the gift and he gave me the ability to do this, and he also gave me this as an outlet. And that's what music is for me. When I feel something, whether it's anger, it's a passion about something, a frustration, like, this is where I go. That's the whole NF Real music thing, man. This is real for me. I need this. This is a therapy for me.
That's NF and therapy session. As I said, he has 2 albums. Very deep young man who used the studio to get out of, to share his life. Tonight we had, we talk about, I'm just wrapping up. We talked about the my experience in the salon and how a lot of people use the salon and the barber shop as their therapy sessions, for therapy sessions. And someone just sent me a message saying she sells, and the same stuff goes on there with people when they come to shop. They would start talking about all their personal struggles and what's going on in their family. And she said all you can do is think of some people, and somehow sometimes you don't even know what to say, but you offer some form of comfort. And that's all you can do, offer some comfort. So it's not just in the barbershop, and this is because of our taboo and the limitations of our culture, that when we have problems, we don't seek help. We don't seek professional help. We use other avenues to get rid of our stuff. Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Yeah.
Turn it down a little so I can understand, Ricky. Ricky, what did you say? Ricky, text Samantha so that I can get whatever it is that you're saying and I can respond to you. ONF. It's if he's on TV, he's on YouTube. Yeah. Go to YouTube and type in N as in Nancy, NF, and you're going to see all his music come up. All right. N as in Nancy. Right. And F as in Frank. Okay, that's it. NF. N as in Nancy, F as in Frank. And you're going to see all of his music come up. Thank you so much. Have a good night and enjoy NF. You're going to enjoy his music. Also, we spoke about the importance of us, Black people, getting involved in researches and studies so that there can be more information available to us. We spoke about Alzheimer's, and in our community, we'll continue that next week. I'll have a physician assistant in the studio, and I'll ask her to talk generally about Black, our health, and what else did we talk about? That's it. The things, in our midlife you start forgetting stuff, and your problem solving ability decreases. Those are signs that needs attention. So pay attention, speak to your doctor. I want to thank Abby. I want to thank Marcel, of course, Brother Earl, Ricky, and Tessa. I want to thank you guys. I got good memory. I want to thank you guys for calling in, and all our viewers on Facebook. Thank you, all of our listeners via the internet. Thank you guys for your continued support. Share the live feed, and I'll see you next week. God bless you.
Keep your radios locked to New York City's high.